Assalamualaikum and good morning. For today, we would like to present about industrial dispute. My group consists of me, Nurin Batishai F1003, 1 Mazlinda F1045 and 1 Nur Aryani F10X0.
Now we move on to the first slide, which is definition of an industrial dispute. A trade dispute under the Industrial Relation Act 1967 means any disagreement between the employer and workman or employee which is connected with the employment or non-employment or the terms of employment or the conditions of work of such workman or employee leading to industrial action. Next is importance of resolving disputes in the workplace. Conflict resolution is vital for managers because it helps maintain a positive, comfortable environment for all employees. Managing conflict quickly and effectively demonstrates to employees you care about their well-being and the positive culture for the workplace.
Next is impact of unresolved dispute on productivity. The example of impact of unresolved dispute on productivity. The first one is stress. The stress and distraction resulting from the unresolved dispute can lead to decreased focus, lower attention to detail, and reduced overall work performance. And the next one is turnover. Persistent dispute can contribute to higher employee turnover as individuals may choose to leave the organization to escape a toxic or conflict-ridden work environment. The next one is labor laws related to industrial dispute. This is labor laws related to industrial dispute. The first one is Industrial Relations Act 1967. The Industrial Relations Act is the primary legislation governing industrial relations in Malaysia. It provides for the regulation of the relations between employers and employees, the prevention and settlement of industrial dispute, and the promotion of industrial harmony. And the second one is Trade Unions Act 1959. The legislation regulates the promotion, registration and administration of trade unions. It outlines the rights and responsibilities of trade union and their members.
Next slide is rights and responsibilities of employers, employees and unions. Rights and responsibilities of employers. The rights of employers is hire suitable staff, dismiss employees which is provided it is done fairly, the right to run a business, and the responsibilities is pay a fair wage, adhere to all tax regulation, and maintain safe and healthy working conditions. Next is rights and responsibilities of employees. The right is fair wage, equal pay and pay slip, safe and healthy workplace, holidays and leave. The responsibilities honest and trustworthy, fair day's work, respect property of employer. The last one is right and responsibility of unions. The right is recruit new members, ask about changes in wages or positions, and take industrial action to protect members. The responsibilities is not put pressure on people to join, not make unreasonable demands or threats, and hold secret ballot, inform employers, and take action peacefully.
Let's discuss about legal procedure for initiating and managing dispute resolutions. There are 4 types of legal procedure for initiating and managing dispute resolution that are commonly used in Malaysia to resolve the dispute between employers and employees in accordance with Industrial Relations Act 1967, begins with negotiations, conciliations, mediation, and arbitrations. The first one is negotiations. Direct negotiations is a dispute resolution process between workers, unions, and their employers meeting together in good spirits to identify and discuss the issues. Second, conciliations, an informational meeting where parties attempt to settle the dispute before the hearing can take place. And third, mediations involve the interventions of a third person or mediator into a dispute to assist the parties in negotiation, jointly acceptable resolutions of issues in conflicts. And the last one is arbitrations, a procedure in which a dispute is submitted by agreement of the parties to one or more arbitrations who makes a binding decisions on the disputes.
Now we move to the next slide, which is definition of arbitration. In arbitration, a dispute is submitted to an impartial third party for a binding decision. An arbitrator basically acts as a judge and jury. It is outside the Industrial Relations Court through a written agreement between the parties in dispute who agree to submit the settlement of the dispute to an arbiter whose decision is binding on the parties involved and is final. The settlement of an industrial relation dispute through an arbitrator is performed on the basis of a written request by the disputing parties on 3 identical copies of arbitration letter of agreement that consists of full name and addresses or domicile of the disputing parties, main issues underlying the dispute to be handed over to arbitration for settlement, numbers of arbiters agreed upon.
Now let's move on to the role of arbitration in resolving dispute. Arbitration plays a significant role in resolving dispute, offering an alternative to traditional litigation. Here are key aspects of the role of arbitration in dispute resolution. The first one is speed and efficiency. Arbitration is often quicker than traditional litigation as the process is less formal and more streamlined. The second one is confidentiality. Arbitration proceedings are typically private, offering a higher degree of confidentiality compared to traditional court proceedings. Next is strategies for constructive communication during arbitration. Effective communication is crucial during arbitration as it helps parties to navigate dispute work toward a resolution. Here are some strategies for constructive communication during arbitration. The first one is active listening. Active listening to the statement, argument and perspective of all parties involved. Demonstrating that you are attentively listening can contribute to a more constructive atmosphere. The second one is respectful language. Maintain a respectful tone and use courteous language. Avoid personal attack, inflammatory remarks, or disrespectful behavior. A professional and respectful demeanor contributes to a more positive and constructive arbitration process.
Next, let me share with you legal process involved in industrial disputes. The Industrial Relations Act 1967 is applicable throughout nations and provide for the regulations of relations between employers and workmen, or employees and their trade unions, and the prevention and settlement of trade disputes. The arbitration process usually starts with the complaining party giving notice to the others about their intent to arbitrate the disputes. The notice includes the nature and basis for the proceeding. Following this notice, the other parties has a period of time to file a written response. Next, the analyze real example of industrial disputes. The first one is picketing. Picketing is assembly outside a workplace or location to prevent others from going to work. When the right of employees to peacefully protest in front of the place of business by carrying and displaying signs, placards, and banners that aim to educate the public about the conflicts and the employees' complaints. Pickets are usually conducted outside working hours. For example, Delta Airlines pilot hosts informational picket to protest working conditions. The last one is strike. Strike refers to an actions taken by a group of employees who stop working in an attempt to pressure their employer into meeting their demands. Workers strike over a wide array of issues, but the most common demands include higher wages, safer working conditions, and better benefits. Only members of registered trade unions may strike and involve an unsettled trade dispute with their employer. Political and sympathy strikes are illegal. For example, the manager hopes the employees don't strike during the holidays, which happen to be factory's busiest month. After finding out that their countries requires them to go back into classrooms during the coronavirus pandemic, many teachers across the country threatened to strike.
So that's all from us. Thank you.